All right, guys, so it is still a insane time in the CS2 markets right now. Another day, and in the past 24 hours, at least according to Price Empire, we are down another 6% in the CS2 markets. Prices continue to drop. There are some items that are hopefully starting to find a bottom. There are some items that are hopefully starting to bounce back a little bit, showing a little bit of signs of life, whatever. I have no idea how the next couple of days, weeks, and months are going to play out, but I do know that if you are a long-term believer in CS, in the CS markets, in prices and price appreciation, all that stuff, that dips can be an amazing buying opportunity. They can be times where people make a ton of money. So even though there's a lot of panicking, a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of doubt, all these things in the markets right now, in this video today, I'm going to be talking about the things that I'm looking at, considering buying, that I'm going to be buying, whatever, during this CS2 market dip, and hopefully a couple months from now, a couple years from now, whatever, these prices are going to be way up, and we're going to look like this was an amazing time to buy. Today's video is sponsored by Skins Monkey, an automated CS2 trading platform where you can turn your skins into new ones simple and easy. All you have to do is click on the skins that you want to get rid of, click on the skins that you want, and then click trade items. Now, if you don't have enough balance for the items you want, you can use code GERM to get up to $5 free bonus on your first trade. You can also use that same code GERM to get a 5% extra deposit bonus on top of the 30% deposit bonus that Skins Monkey is already offering. So there's really no reason to not go check out Skins Monkey with that first link in the description below today. So even though I typically do not invest in stuff like play skins or liquid skins or knives or gloves or anything like that, it's not typically my investment. I actually think that during dips like this, I think those can be some okay investments. I think these actually can be okay times to buy some of this stuff. And if you're somebody who is more of a collector than an investor, somebody who actually likes to get play skins to play in the game and get cool looking skins for cheaper and also maybe make a little bit of money or whatever, I think now is a perfect time to buy some of these play skins. If you're somebody who's been looking to pick up, an M4 Hot Rod or an M4 Print Stream or a Blue Phosphor or whatever, like, hey, I do think that the M4 Print Stream at a 7% discount in the past week is a great purchase. I think the Blue Phosphor at a 10% discount in the last week is a great purchase. I think you will see returns on a lot of these things. Desert Eagle Blaze at an almost 12% discount, Dragon Lore a little bit cheaper than usual if you're looking for really high budget stuff, Vulcan at almost a 7% discount, Bloodsport at 10% discount. Like, I think these skins will rebound. Now, again, over the long term, I don't think these skins are necessarily going to be the best investment. I think performance-wise, historical data-wise, if we look at trends, if we look at numbers, graphs, charts, all that stuff, these are not the best CS2 investments. These things do typically make you a slight amount of money over time. They are usually a little bit more expensive every year, every month, whatever. These things do typically go up. These are very expensive items. They're high demand. They're things that people enjoy. But like I said, if you are looking for play skins, if you are a collector, if you are somebody who wants to have some cool stuff and maybe make a little bit of money as well, I do think it could be a very, very good time to buy a lot of this stuff. Again, I would personally probably be looking at stuff like the Bloodsport, Vulcan, the Blue Phosphor, maybe the Blaze. Those are some of my favorites. Those are skins that and the Print Stream, of course. Those are some of the skins that I would like to use in game. And again, I'm sure these things will bounce back well. I think, a couple months from now, 6 months from now, a year, 2 years from now, whatever, these things are going to be up. They're going to bounce back very, very strong. And you're going to get to own some very, very cool skins in the meantime. But again, are they the best investment grade stuff? No. Are they the way you can maximize your profits? Are they the way you can make the absolute most money? No. But I do like buying these things right now more than I typically would, because if you're getting them at a big discount, at least that's increasing, it's making your risk reward ratio better. It's making, the amount of money you can make better. It's making them, a better purchase rather than, buying them when they're already up. And yeah, they'll probably go up a little bit more, but it's going to be slower. It's going to be less, whatever. So I think those are actually pretty interesting right now. But obviously, one of the most attractive, one of the most interesting things to me right now is buying cases. Now, I know a lot of cases have already started to bounce back. We can look at Price Empire here and see these are Buff 163 prices, so you have to take everything with a little bit of grain of salt. But if we start looking at all cases in the past 7 days, there are some cases that have been getting crushed and some cases that I really, 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 really like that have been getting crushed. You have stuff like the Prisma case down 23% on Buff. Now, like I said, this is Buff. Some Steam prices, Steam charts are going to be a little bit different. Float prices, float charts are going to be a little bit different. So you have to look at your marketplace. You have to look at the different places. You have to look at where you have balance, where you have funds, where you have access to, whatever. But at least according to Buff 163 prices, Prism cases are down 23% in the past 7 days. Chroma 2, another amazing case, down 20% in the past 7 days. Those two cases are absolutely things that I would be buying up massively at 20% discounts. Clutch case, another one that I really like at a 19% discount in the past 7 days. Chroma 3, Revolver, Spectrum 2, these are all ones I like. In all these cases, we're talking about a 15 to 20% discount, which is absolutely insane. We can start to look at like the past 7 days and see if there's anything that's been doing well. It doesn't really look like it. buff prices. It looks like every single case except for the Esport 2013 winter case is down in the past 7 days. But like I said, in the past 24 hours, we have seen some stuff start to rebound. Gamma 2, Gamma, Huntsman, Snakebite, Chroma 3, Revolver, these are all up in the past 24 hours. So maybe we're starting to find a little bit of a bottom. Maybe, things are going to start bouncing back. Obviously, a big part of this new update is the fact that people are having to wait 7 days before their funds are actually, able to be used again, before their funds are actually able to be put back into the markets, back into the CS2 economy to actually buy more stuff. So I think this first 7 days, this update is hopefully going to be some of the worst of it. And honestly, I don't think it's crazy to think that after 7 days, we will start to see things stabilize a little bit, start to see things turn around a little bit. So I think, right now is a crazy time to start buying stuff. But again, some of my favorite stuff, I love cases. I think cases are, the S plus tier investment of the CS2 world, and if you have an opportunity to buy cases at a dip, at a discount, you should definitely do it. Now again, depending on where you look, cases are down, they're sideways, they're up a little bit, whatever, but I know on Steam it says, hey, cases are at all-time highs. This is on CSGO stocks, but I don't think it's completely accurate. I think cases, or the Snakebite case, is down a little tiny bit. It was down way worse yesterday. I saw the peak prices of Snakebite cases at like 70 cents on CS Float. I saw things get down as low as 57, 58 cents, something like that. It was a big drop, a big, fall off in just a couple of days, but now they have rebounded. I think they're like 65, 66 cents on Float, something like that, but who knows? They're going to keep fluctuating. They're going to keep going up and down, but last I saw, Snakebite cases are down a little bit. Those are one of my favorite cases to purchase right now in CS markets. I've been buying them in the thousands, and I think, again, if you can get them at a discount, you're going to be making money. You're going to be doing well in the long term. Recoil case, another one that I really like. Again, if you can get this one at a discount, it's very good. It's the cheapest case in the entire game right now. Yes, it is active duty. It does have some downsides. It has some risks. We don't know when it's going to get put in the rare drop pool, whatever, but Recoil is definitely one I would be keeping my eyes on. Clutch case, again, another very cheap case, a cheap rare case with a lot of strong unboxing numbers. I am very curious to see where unboxing numbers are going to head in the next couple weeks, so this is definitely something I'm going to be keeping an eye on. But again, some of the most unboxed rare cases right now are Snakebite. You can see Clutch with almost 500,000 in the past month, Danger Zone 423,000, Prisma 1, Prisma 2 470,000, Snakebite sitting at 719,000. So those are the ones I'm keeping my eye on the most. Buying these cases for cheap when they are dipping. Like I said, some of the cases dipping the most right now in those Buff 163 graphs were the Chroma 2 case. You can see here towards the right side of this graph starts to dip down a little bit. That's one I would definitely want to buy. Revolver case, you can see this graph starts to teeter off a little bit downward in the past couple days. Revolver case, a little bit more expensive, kind of in that medium to high price range as far as cases go, but still, Revolver case, I think one that will do very well. Danger Zone, again, another cheap rare case that's been absolutely killing it this year. This case is up almost 300% in the past year. So yeah, a dip on something that's up 300% isn't really the end of the world. A 10% dip on something that's up 300%, we're not talking like the sky is falling. We're not talking like people are getting absolutely smoked. Really, the only people who are getting smoked right now are people who invested in the past week, invested in the past 2 weeks, maybe even invested in the past month. But if you've been in any of this stuff for a long time, you're down from your peak numbers, but you're still insanely up. So this is not, an insanely bad situation or anything like that just yet. Again, we can see these price empire graphs. We're starting to go down a little bit and things are teetering down, but still, even in the past year, we're up massively, and even, over the past months, stuff is still looking pretty good. I think once we start to zoom out, once we start to, get to crazier and crazier time frames, and a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, this is just going to be a blip on the graph, just like every other crash in kind of CS2 history has been. So play skins, I think, can be a good investment right now. Rare cases, I think, can definitely be a good investment right now. Cheap cases, I think, can be a good investment right now. Another thing that I'm looking at is skins from rare cases. Obviously, the Snakebite case is the most recent case to go rare, and the AK-47 slate is a skin that's been absolutely killing it. This thing is up 75% in the past year. This is a skin that has increased in popularity a ton. People love the slate. Crafting and stickers and all this stuff has become just bigger and bigger over the past couple years, especially as Valve, put out the crafting update and the 5x sticker crafts and all that. And the slate is just so clean. It looks good in game. It's a blank canvas. You can do so many different things with it. And it's a skin that is in a rare case now that's not actively dropping as much as it was before. So the fundamentals on this thing has been amazing, and now this thing is down 4% in the past month. So this is the first time we've seen like a kind of significant dip in the slates in a while. So AK-47 slate's a skin that I don't own, but it's one that I've wanted to own in a big amount for a while, and I would love to own like a storage unit of AK-47 slate or something like that. I think that's going to be a great investment in the long run. You also have, the trade-up skins from the Snakebite collection, which I think will do well. These haven't really seen a dip, at least from what I can see on Steam just yet, and that's another thing to keep in mind. During market crashes, the best investment stuff and the things that people want to hold on to the most and the things that, make sense to hold on to the most, in theory, they should crash the least, and they should also rebound the fastest when they do crash during market dips and stuff like that. So during times like these where the market is crashing, when prices are down, when people are panicking, it is most important that you buy the good stuff, that you don't just get caught up in, the random flavor of the month. You don't get caught up in the random hype cycles or the random trash that's not even going to do that good. You want to buy the best stuff, because if you can buy the absolute best stuff, even at a discount, even if it's not the biggest discount, because sometimes the stuff that's down the most, it's down the most for a reason. You don't always want to look during dips for what is down the absolute most. You want to look for good stuff that's down, good stuff that makes sense to buy. So again, I'm not necessarily saying I'm going out and buying R8 Revolver junkyards or anything like that, but I am saying you do want to keep in mind you still want to be buying good stuff. And I do think that overall, cheap filler trade-up skins from rare cases are an option, and Snakebite, obviously gives you an option. So keep an eye on stuff like that. Also, the most recent skins that we just saw removed from the care package drops. These skins have been killing it over the past couple months since this stuff was removed from those care package drops. These things went rare, and now they're starting to dip a little bit. Stuff like the Op Safari Mesh is down 10% almost in the past month. But again, if we zoom out and we look, this thing's up 193% in the past 6 months. So these things have been killing it, and now there's a little bit of a dip. There's some other opportunities here, stuff like the Mac 10 Silver. Again, it looks like it's getting crushed. It's down almost 10.5% in the past month, but if you zoom out a little bit, it's up 149% in the past 6 months. And again, another one, the Glock 18 Candy Apple. Here, it's only up 3% in the past month, but again, it's down way, way, way from where it was here at its peaks. This thing was 436, now it's down to 341. Definitely a very, very significant dip, but still it's up massively, 254% in the past 6 months. So those are another skins that I'm keeping an eye out on, because those I already thought were great investments. Those, the graphs already looked amazing. The fundamentals make sense with these, and now you have an opportunity to buy them at a dip as well. So those are some of the main things that I'm keeping an eye out on. Again, any play skins that look good, that have high demand, that you've been wanting for a while. Cases, as always, trade up and filler skins from rare cases, and cases that actually have them, and skins, stuff like that actually have demand. And then some of these skins that just recently got removed from the care package active duty drops and are now not dropping the numbers that they once were. These are some of the things that have been the best investments over the past couple years, and now that we're seeing a dip, I think they're amazing buying opportunities, and they're definitely some of the things that I'm keeping an eye out on. But for me, the thing I'm going to be buying most, as always, is going to be those cheap rare cases. I'm going to be trying to load up and buy the dip, and hopefully we're going to make a lot of money over the next couple months and over the next couple years. But we're going to have to wait and see. Who knows? This thing could dip even further, and if it does, guess what? I'm going to keep buying the dip. I'm going to keep reloading. We're going to keep trying again, because I believe in this stuff, and if you don't believe in this stuff, you shouldn't be investing anyway. And if you do believe in this stuff, then buying the dip is the opportunities where we can make a heck of a lot of money. But we'll have to wait and see. We're not trying to be greedy, not trying to be crazy, anything like that. We're just trying to be smart. We're trying to make the right decisions. We'll see what happens from here. But as always, stay tuned. This channel is going to be a great place for you guys to stay up to date on all the latest, get the latest information, latest ideas, discussions, topic, all that good stuff. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.